Welcome to The Certified Road, the podcast by Knowledge-Based Training and Consulting. This is the show where we explore tech certifications, digital upskilling, and the real-world impact of industry-recognized credentials. Today, we're diving deep into the Project Management Professional, or PMP, certification.
Exactly. We're really going to unpack the PMP today, not just, what it is, but why it's still such a big deal in project management now. I mean, think about adaptability, agile, digital transformation. It touches everything. And crucially, we want to give you a clear picture of how to get certified and how to keep that certification active too.
Right. And to do that, we've pulled together information from quite a few places: Project Management Academy, Coursera, Simplilearn, Elite Minds Learning, Eisenbridge, St. Mary's University of Minnesota, trying to get a full view. Okay, so let's start right there. Why is the PMP still so significant? What's its core value?
Well, fundamentally, it's this globally recognized stamp of approval. It says you know how to manage projects. It's run by the Project Management Institute, PMI. And the numbers are just huge. Depending on the source, you're looking at, 700,000, maybe over 1 million PMP holders worldwide. That scale tells you something.
Wow, over 1 million. That's a massive community. And project management isn't just tech, right? Is PMP relevant outside IT?
Oh, absolutely. That's a key point Coursera makes. It applies pretty much everywhere. Healthcare, construction, IT, general business, you name it. It's not about the industry itself. It's about the fundamental skills needed to lead a project effectively.
Okay, so it's widely applicable. But what does having PMP after your name actually signal to an employer, say?
It signals competence. St. Mary's University mentions it validates you can actually perform as a project manager, lead projects, direct teams. Plus, it shows you've mastered proven standards and methods. Project Management Academy points this out too, often tying it back to the PMBO Key Guide.
The PMBO Key Guide, the big book. Is PMP basically certifying, that guide inside out?
It's more than just book knowledge, really. Elite Minds Learning highlights this. The PMP process itself equips you with practical skills, techniques, the whole knowledge base you need for today's complex projects. That's why it's often called the gold standard, like St. Mary says. It's seen as the benchmark.
The gold standard. Okay, that's clear. Now, let's get down to brass tacks, because I imagine this is what many listeners are keen on. How does this translate into career benefits, salary, opportunities? What's the real impact there?
Right, and the data here is pretty compelling. PMP holders generally earn significantly more. St. Mary's University says maybe 20% more on average. Project Management Academy suggests 22%. And Coursera even puts the global figure at 33% higher than non-certified peers. It seems employers really value that demonstrated competence and are willing to pay for it. Project mistakes cost money, right?
Those are some hefty percentages. Are there actual dollar figures, like in the U.S.? What might someone expect?
Coursera pegs the median PMP salary in the U.S. around $130,000. But it's not just the immediate pay bump. It genuinely opens doors to better career opportunities, higher level positions. Often it's even listed as required or preferred for PM roles. You see stuff on Reddit suggesting maybe 70% of PM jobs want or need it.
70%. So it really can be a filter, almost a prerequisite for certain jobs.
Exactly. It can seriously accelerate your career path, boost your long-term earning potential. Elite Minds Learning talks about this. Think leadership roles, managing bigger, more complex projects. That potential 20-25% salary jump post-certification you see discussed online. While it varies, it points to a strong ROI.
Okay, the value seems pretty clear. I mean, it's not something you just sign up for, right? Let's talk requirements. What do you actually need to qualify to even sit for the exam?
Right. Eligibility is key. First off, you need to validate your project management experience and your education. Coursera and Project Management Academy both stress this. There are basically 3 main paths, depending mostly on your formal schooling.
Okay, let's break those down. What if someone has, say, a high school diploma or an associate's degree?
Okay, for that group, you need 60 months. That's 5 years of experience leading projects. And that experience needs to be within the last 8 years. Plus, you need 35 hours of formal project management training, though holding a CAPM cert can sometimes substitute for that training bit.
5 years experience, 35 hours training. Got it. And for someone with a bachelor's degree?
With a 4-year degree or the global equivalent, the experience requirement drops. It's 36 months, 3 years managing projects, again within the last 8 years. But you still need those 35 hours of project management training. The CKPM substitution applies here too, potentially.
Okay, 3 years experience plus the training. Is there a third path, maybe for advanced degrees?
Yeah, there is. If your bachelor's or postgrad degree is from a GAC accredited program, that's the Global Accreditation Center for Project Management Education, then the experience requirement is even lower, just 24 months or 2 years leading projects in the last 8 years. But again, the 35 hours of formal PM education is still mandatory. Project Management Academy's courses, for instance, are designed to meet this.
So that 35-hour training piece is the constant across all paths. Anything else about the experience itself? Like, can you count overlapping projects?
Good question. No, the experience has to be unique, non-overlapping project work within that 8-year window. Project Management Academy makes that clear. And if you look at these requirements and think, I'm not quite there yet, definitely look into the CAPM, the Certified Associate in Project Management. Coursera and others suggest it's a great entry point.
That makes sense. CAPM is a stepping stone.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say someone does meet the criteria. What's the actual process? How do you go from eligible to hopefully certified?
It's a step-by-step thing. Step 1, make absolutely sure you meet the requirements. Track your projects, track your training hours carefully, like Coursera advises.
Right. Documentation is key. Then what?
Step 2, apply. You go onto the PMI website, create an account if you don't have one, and fill out the online application. You'll detail your experience, your education there. PMI usually reviews it pretty fast, Project Management Academy says, within about 5 business days.
5 days. That's quick. Okay, application approved. Now the hard part.
Step 3, study. And yeah, this is a serious commitment. Don't underestimate it. Coursera suggests planning for 60 to 120 hours of study spread over maybe 2 to 6 months. You'll want study guides, practice exams, PMI's own resources. The PMB OK guide is obviously a core reference here too.
60 to 120 hours. Wow. Okay, so you put in the work. What's next?
Step 4, schedule and take the exam. You can do it at a testing center or online. Coursera and Eisenbridge both mention you have that choice now. It's 180 questions in 230 minutes, so just under 4 hours. You do get 2 optional 10-minute breaks.
180 questions in almost 4 hours. Sounds intense. What's on the exam? What kind of stuff are they testing?
It covers 3 main areas, or domains. People skills, that's about 42%. Process, the biggest chunk, around 50%. And the business environment, that's the last 8%. These percentages come from Coursera, Eisenbridge, Project Management Academy. They're pretty standard. And it's a mix, testing to predictive, traditional methods and agile or hybrid approaches. The questions aren't just multiple choice either. Eisenbridge mentions you might see multiple response, matching, hotspot questions, fill in the blanks, a variety.
So you need to be ready for different question formats, not just picking A, B, C, or D. Okay, let's say you pass. Congratulations. Is that it? Or is there a final step?
Step 5, maintain it. Your PMP isn't forever. It's valid for 3 years. To keep it, you need to earn 60 PDUs, professional development units, during that cycle. That's mentioned by Coursera, Simply Learn, Project Management Academy. Everyone agrees on that.
PDUs, right, like continuing education to stay sharp.
Exactly that. It ensures PMPs stay current with, new trends, changing methods, best practices. The field evolves, right?
It definitely does.
Yeah.
Okay, before we dig deeper into those PDUs, let's talk money. Getting the PMP, it's an investment, isn't it? What are the costs involved?
It is an investment, yeah. Several parts to it. First, there's PMI membership. It's around $159 a year based on Coursera, PMA, and others. Now, you don't have to be a member, but
it saves you money on the exam fee, right? I think I saw that.
Exactly. The exam itself is $675 for non-members, but only $425 if you are a member. So the membership basically pays for itself right there usually. And if you unfortunately need to retake the exam, there are fees for that too. One source mentioned $275 for members, $375 for non-members.
Fingers crossed for first-time passes. What about keeping it active? The renewal cost?
Right. Every 3 years you renew. That fee is $150 for non-members, but again, cheaper for members, only $60.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you have the cost of prep courses. These vary wildly. Could be $500, could be $2,000 or even more. Depends on the provider, the format.
Okay, so there's definitely a financial commitment, but weighed against those potential salary increases we talked about.
Precisely. For many, the potential return makes the investment worthwhile.
We mentioned PDUs for maintaining the cert. Let's circle back to that. How does that system work? Earning those 60 units.
Okay, so Simple Learn lays this out nicely. Your certification cycle is 3 years from the day you pass the exam. Within those 3 years, you need 60 PDUs. And these PDUs need to align with something called the PMI Talent Triangle, which covers technical project management skills, leadership skills, and strategic and business management skills. Ensures well-rounded development.
Talent Triangle.
Yeah.
Okay, so you need to learn across different areas. How do people actually earn these PDUs? What counts?
Several ways. A big chunk, at least 35 PDUs, has to come from education. Think PMI conferences, chapter meetings, webinars, online courses like those from Simply Learn. Then you can earn up to 25 PDUs by giving back. This could be like creating content, writing articles, giving presentations, or mentoring other PMs, or volunteering your PM skills. And finally, you can claim a maximum of 8 PDUs just for working as a professional, basically applying your skills on the job.
Seems quite flexible. Education, giving back, just doing your job. And how do you keep track? Do you just tell PMI you did this stuff?
You have to record it formally. There's an online system called the CCRS Continuing Certification Renewal System linked to your PMI account. Simply Learn and Project Management Academy both stress you need to log your PDUs there accurately. And then at the end of the 3 years, you pay that renewal fee we mentioned. Be aware, though, if you don't renew, your cert gets suspended for a year. If you still don't meet the requirements after that suspension, it expires completely.
So you really need to stay on top of those PDUs. Okay, for listeners thinking seriously about this, let's talk exam prep strategy. Beyond just clocking the hours, what really helps?
Well, first space, definitely get intimate with the PMBO guide and the official exam content outline from PMI. Project Management Academy really emphasizes this. Then use a mix of materials. PMA lists things like course books, strategy guides, maybe quick study sheets, formula guides, and importantly, guides on the ITTOs. Inputs, tools, techniques, outputs. Understanding how those fit together is huge.
Ah, yes, the ITTOs. They can be tricky. What else is crucial for prep?
Practice questions, lots of them, and full mock exams. Project Management Academy strongly advises this. It gets you used to the timing, the question style, and crucially shows you where you're weak. They suggest aiming for maybe 2-3 hours of study a day for about 2 months. Consistency is key. Also, maybe use online lectures for tough topics, and don't discount tutoring options, even just email or webinar support, especially if you're self-studying online. Ultimately, Coursera sums it up well. You need a solid plan and real determination.
A strategic, determined approach. Makes sense. Now, we've talked a lot about the what and how, but the PMP isn't just theory. It changes things for people, for organizations. Do we have some real-world stories?
Oh, definitely. Elite Minds Learning shared quite a few powerful examples. There was Sammy in software development who used his PMP skills to basically rescue a failing project, which then led to a big contract extension for his company. And Jack, in manufacturing, getting his PMP apparently really sped up his career, landing him a senior role and a nice salary bump. These are real impacts.
Turning projects around, accelerating careers, that's tangible. What about impact on a bigger scale? Organizations benefiting.
Yes, that too. Sarah, in a government agency, used her PMP knowledge to drive a major IT modernization project, making things more efficient. Michael, at a nonprofit housing org, improved their processes so they could help more families with the same resources. Then there's Mary, using her PMP to get into a Big Four consulting firm. Lisa, driving innovation at a tech startup. Emma, improving public sector delivery. Andrew, helping global teams work better together. It really shows, as Elite Minds puts it, that PMP is more than just letters. It's proof you can actually lead projects successfully even when things get tough.
Those stories really paint a picture, don't they? It makes it much more concrete. Okay, as we start to kind of wrap this up, the big question for everyone listening has to be, is the PMP right for me right now?
That really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? And as Coursera notes, PMP is generally aimed at people who already have some solid project management experience under their belt. It gives you that industry recognition, validates your skills, boosts your credibility, and, as we've hammered home, it can seriously help your salary and career path.
But it's also a big commitment. Time, effort, money. Like our sources kept reminding us.
Exactly. It's not a casual decision. You really need to look at where you are in your career, what your goals are, and honestly assess if you have the bandwidth for the study involved. If you're pretty new to project management, maybe focus on getting more experience first, or perhaps consider the CAPM as that initial step, like Coursera suggested. It's about finding the right fit for your situation.
That's really solid advice. Consider your own context. Well, this has been incredibly thorough. Thank you for breaking down the PMP certification in such detail. We really hope this deep dive has given you, our listeners, the insights you need to figure out if pursuing the PMP makes sense for your career growth. It really does signal a serious commitment to project management excellence.
Absolutely. And we'd encourage you to check out the resources we mentioned. Think about your own career goals. What parts of project management really energize you? How could the PMP framework help you do that better?
And to learn more about how knowledge-based training and consulting can support your professional development journey, including navigating tech certifications like the PMP, Please do visit our website at www.kspacecc.com